Greetings. Want to give everybody a chance to get here. I'm going to wait. I had some set up in the event, but for whatever reason, it was not coming through. I'm going to have to do some more work and try to figure out what's going on with the reason it's not going automatically to what I'd set up as an event. So we do have the thing right now. Hopefully some people are going to find out where I'm at and they're going to be able to join me. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. First live stream I did, so I'm trying to figure out how to make this all work. I had it set up as an event, but for whatever reason, the event didn't unfold the way that I had set it up. I guess there's some changing, but good to see you guys. Glad you're here with me. Gonna wait. I know there's some other people. They probably have to figure out that I had to go live stream another way in order to make it work. So I just want to give a few seconds for some people to get over here. But how's everyone doing out there? Good? Yeah, compared to my first one, you're right. This is going much longer. Anybody catching any fish out there? I know the weather's been absolutely nuts. I know this is a big step going live. Yeah. Did anyone else have a good day today? Today was a beautiful day, but unfortunately I had to work. I couldn't go out fishing, but it would have been a good day to do it. That's good. You guys know one another. Wonderful. Yeah, we had a beautiful sunny day. It was about 70 degrees and would have been a perfect day to go to the lake or go to the river and fish. But unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do that. Working your butt off, huh? All right. Give just a little bit longer and then I'm going to start. If you haven't had a chance to check out Gunslinger's videos, they're definitely a must watch, focusing on the American made product and companies. It's just a wonderful tribute to America and the great things that are made here. So I just give a shout out to you, man. It's wonderful. I look forward to seeing your videos. As we wait for a few others to get in here, I'm going to get started in just about another probably about another minute. But go ahead and hit the like button if you don't mind. It's first one I'm doing, and hopefully it goes well. Actually, when I first set it up, I set it up at home, but I'm actually in the office right now, so that might have been part of the reason why my event didn't unfold the way I was hoping. But is the volume okay? Are you able to hear me all right? You guys able to hear the volume? Perfect. Okay, great. Thanks. Yeah, M and K, I just started watching your videos. Does your daughter catch more fish than you, or how does that work out? I've been trying to get caught up on the videos with all my friends and that are out there, trying to watch all the videos. So I spend most of my evenings trying to get that stuff. But I love the fact that your daughter goes fishing with you. My daughters, when they were younger, used to fish with me, but unfortunately, they don't fish with me much anymore. She's really good. That's awesome. Yeah, my wife, her only prayer is that when she goes fishing, she'll catch the biggest fish. She doesn't really care how many she catches. Yeah, my oldest daughter, she caught I think it was a 13-inch perch at one time. And so she thought at that point she was done. She didn't need to catch any more fish because she caught the biggest. But my youngest got upset because she was trying to catch a bass, but she couldn't get a bass to bite. She kept getting bluegill. But and then she would get upset with me, like I should somehow make a bass come and bite her lure. And I'm like, Daddy can't make that happen. I gave her and put her in the spots, but unfortunately the bass weren't biting and the bluegill were. All right. Well, we're going to get started just so I know we all have our time is precious and I do value your time of coming with me. I have basically four main things that I want to talk about this evening and want to interact with you guys on some as well. But the first thing I want to say to each and every one of you who have joined me and those who will probably see this afterwards is just express a big thank you and appreciation for those of you who have been with me and who've been part of seeing my channel grow. And as well, I mean, the blessing in this is we see one another's channel grow. I've been doing this now for 8 months, which is hard to believe. I started in August 27th, 2019, actually while I was on vacation in Maine. And I debated if I was even going to start a YouTube channel because up until that point, I just simply watched other people's videos. If I wanted to know something, I just put in there whatever it was I was looking for and then just, see the list of videos that come out and just kind of choose the ones that looked interesting to me. But as I watched, particularly the fishing videos, it just, I don't know, there was something about it that called to me that, man, why don't you take your passion, your love for fishing and share it with other people? I've always loved teaching people. I've always loved taking people with me to go fishing, but I never thought about doing a YouTube channel. Yet I've been watching YouTube for quite a while and watching other people fish and living through their experiences. But I just finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna take a jump in this. So I remember I created my first YouTube video, and I remember sitting there in the chair while we were in Michigan, looking out the window, and I'm just kind of like holding and pausing. Do I push, you know, upload? Do I push upload? Do I push upload? And I wrestled with that. And my wife told me, what, just go ahead. Just go ahead and do it and see. It can't hurt, And of course, that was the birth of my channel was August 27th, 2019. And honestly, when I first began, I had no desire on trying to grow or build or become large in any way. And I'm not there even now. But when I first started, I didn't even dare to think of 100 subscribers. In fact, I wasn't thinking of subscribers. I actually was looking for, and it's kind of what I count you guys as. I just wanted friends, people who I would connect with, who shared passions or things that I was interested in. And I have a lot of things that I have, passions for and things that I enjoy. So, I mean, I'm watching people who camp, I'm watching people who hike, people who cook, people who do woodwork, people who do a lot of these different things out there. I mean, I enjoy a lot of that stuff. I like soaking in the information that I can gain and glean from that. So when I first began, I mean, honestly, I wasn't even thinking of 100, but I thought, boy, that would be awesome to have 100. And I didn't think subscribers, like I shared with you. I actually said, man, it'd be kind of cool to have, these contacts, these people who are like friends who we share one another's, passions that we have regarding our videos and things that we make. And so that was my initial drive, my initial desire in doing it. So, when I say 100 subscribers, I think that was me reaching way out there and say, boy, wouldn't it be great after I have all my friends who join me and all that to eventually have these people who would basically, who I wouldn't know, but we would become friends because of our channels and the things that we share. And so we started to watch, and to my surprise and to my amazement, by the beginning of this new year, I had already reached 100 subscribers, which absolutely thrilled me that I had reached that. And then it surprised me, at that point, because I was like, I have to set a new goal because it's not even a year yet, and I already have my 100 subscribers. And so I'm like, well, I'll put 200 because that seems like that would be a big goal. And so I put 200 subscribers as what my thought was for my first year. And by mid-March, I already hit the 200 subscribers. And of course, if you look at where I'm at now, I'm just over 250 subscribers, and I'm so thankful for that. And just blessed that there's those who want to be part of what I'm doing, and at the same time me be a part of what they're doing, and just having that kinship, that friendship that's in that making of videos that we share with one another, and we support one another and what we're doing. So I thank you for that. And I guess that's kind of a long introduction to simply say I thank you and I appreciate you for who you guys are and your support. And of course, for anyone who watches this afterwards or who joins during this, if you're not currently a member or part of the family, so to speak, I would encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And really, like I said, subscribe is really just becoming a friend, becoming part of the family of those of us who are YouTubers. And so I look forward to that. Now, as I go into my second point, I just simply want to share this. When I hit 200 subscribers, I then started to think, what should be my realistic goal for August 27th, 2020, which would be a full year, my anniversary of starting my YouTube channel. And I decided that based upon what I thought and believed were good projections, I really believe that 400 subscribers would be very likely, very possible for me to be able to achieve that. And so I'm setting that as my goal, that by August 27th, 2020, I will find myself at 400 subscribers. And I believe that that's something that's doable. That leads me to a point of just trying to help you to understand my channel. I've had a couple people say, why did you develop your logo, or why do you have your channel? Because if you notice my name, Rob BassMaster, I just want to share with you, that's not vanity. That's not boasting. I'm not trying to say that I'm a master. What that's referring to is Rob, obviously, because I'm Robert and I go by Rob. If you and I were just hanging out, that's what I would be wanting you to call me, is just Rob. Bass, the reason I put that in place is because bass is my favorite species of fish to catch. I absolutely love, and particularly smallmouth bass. I love smallmouth bass. I love going out for them. They're awesome fighting fish. You can catch them in creek. You can catch them in water. In some cases, just barely a foot deep. And people would walk by thinking there's nothing in there. In fact, I love when I'm in a creek and I'm fishing and I see people drive by in cars and they're looking like, why in the world are you fishing in that creek right there? There's nothing in there. They're probably thinking you'll be lucky there's minnows. And all of a sudden, when I pick up that big bass and I hold it up and they get to see the size of the bass, they're blown away. In fact, if you see my video about smallmouth bass fishing, that came from that small creek where the water in most cases is no more than a foot to 2 feet deep. There's those big monster bass hanging out in there. And most people would never give it the time of day and think it's anything other than maybe a place where cows would go and drink water or that kind of stuff. But it's just loaded with great, all kinds of fish. But in fact, it just seems to be made with a lot of good, strong smallmouth bass, which is my favorite fish. So that's where the bass part of it comes into my name for my channel. The master part, this is the one that seems to sometimes stump people. But I learned a long time ago that a person who is truly a master in anything recognizes that they don't know everything. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to learn in a lifetime continuously the rest of their life how to do something well. And so for me, because I love catching bass, that's my favorite species to go after, I want to be a master at it. And in order to be a master, it means I must spend a lifetime learning. In fact, the more I learn that I don't know, and I need to continue absorbing new knowledge and new understanding. In fact, if you and I were to go fishing, I would be looking and seeking to glean from you what you have learned from bass fishing, just as well I would be seeking to pass on what I've learned so that together we grow. So that's where the master comes from. So it doesn't actually reflect that I think I've mastered the topic or the subject of bass fishing. It just simply means that I'm in a pursuit, a lifetime pursuit of trying to make sure that that particular species, the one that I love the most, smallmouth bass fishing, I love largemouth bass and as well the other bass species, but in particularly smallmouth bass, I want to be an expert at catching those, and I want to continue to grow, and I know it'll take me a lifetime to do so. So that's where my name comes from, Rob BassMaster. So if you ever see that again, don't need to worry about like, man, does he really think he's that great? That has nothing to do with it. It just has to do with my passion for bass and my desire to learn how to catch them and get better and better at it as I'm going along. If you've seen my logo, and I actually attached it to this video, actually, I think it's attached to the other one, but I will attach it to this one. My logo reflects three of the key themes in my life. Three of the key themes in my life. And the first key theme in my life is my family. But of course, I couldn't put that in my logo. I didn't know how to reflect that. I mean, I could have put a house in there, but it would have not blended as well with my logo. But the first key theme in my life is obviously my family. I have a beautiful wife. Her name is Jody, and I have two beautiful daughters, Bethany and Brianna, who I love very much. And they are really the center of everything who I am and what I value most. And in fact, all of that's held together by our relationship that we have with one another, and in particularly God's blessing that He's given us. I don't know how well this will show, but that's my daughters and my wife there. So I just share that with you. That is who they are, Bethany, Brianna, and my wife, Jody. I'll probably get killed for showing that, but that's my family. They're the first priority in my life. They're the first key thing that everything is centered on. The next three things go together, and that's what's in my logo. First and foremost is my passion for fishing. So if you look at my logo, you will notice the hook. That hook is my passion for fishing. It's what it represents in that hook. The second thing you'll see is my faith. And my faith is reflected in the fact that you see the Christian fish that's in there. I have that reflected in there as well to reflect my passion for fishing and as well my passion for my faith. The next thing you will see is my calling. And that's the scripture verse that I've left there for you. That's found in Mark chapter 1, verse 17. And it simply says, Jesus said to them, and of course it's referring to his disciples, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. And my wife and I are pastors. We enjoy the work that we do. We love ministering to people. It's what we're part of. And so part of that is just my greatest way of witnessing, my greatest way of connecting is to take a brother or someone along with me, take them fishing and be able to share God's beautiful creation at the same time, share maybe how God worked in my life and how God has blessed me. So that's generally what you'll see on my logo. So when you look at it and you see the fish and you see the hook and you see the scripture down below, that's what it's all reflecting, is the three key areas of my life of my passion for fishing, my passion for my faith, and of course, my passion for the calling that I have been called to. So that might be more than you want to know, but I wanted to share that with you. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is the importance of how faithful watchers, people who have been not just subscribers, but they've caught your videos, everyone that you produce, they watch them, they like them, they comment on them, they give you constructive criticism or feedback or whatever. Those kind of things I have truly valued. And since I began this in August, there have been 12 particular individuals, channels, who have been very intentional in watching my videos and giving me encouragement and feedback. It's not to say that there's not others, because of the 200 and something subscribers that I have that are part of my family, many of them have given me positive feedback. Many of them have watched videos. Many of them are newer. They've only started watching recently, as you've seen the growth of the channel. But in particular, there's been 12 of them who have been just unbelievable in the support that they have given. And so I really appreciate that from them. And so what I've done, and this is what I want to share with you, if you go onto my channel, you will find that I have given feature channels, and it represents those 12 channels who have made a investment in who I am and have helped me to shape and become the person that I am right now. So I just share that with you. And I know many of you are going to be in it in the future. It's just, I had to begin somewhere. And when I went back, I literally watched every one of my videos, took every comment that was made. I couldn't tell who all liked it, but I could tell who made comments. And I did a tally thing to see, wow, who were the ones that were most supportive and committed to me, and who go way back to when I began. And so I took 12 of those. So if you go onto my channel, you will see those. And I give them a shout out. I give them props for what they have done. But I also want to share with you that after this live stream, I will be incorporating those 12 channels also into this live stream, so that people can see those who were part of that, and they could see that and be part of that as well. The other thing is that I want to share with you that I will do, because there are 4 ways that I want to shout out these channels. In the next videos that I make, series of 6 videos, I would like to give a personal shout out for 2 of those channels at a time. And so that's one of those things that I'm going to do, is intentionally trying to put those channels in the forefront of my videos as well, so that people can see who they are, be encouraged to support them. And if they have not already, like them or subscribe them, to do so, to give them some, props for who they are and the kind of people, because they've already built me up and helped my channel to grow. And they're people who are just good all around people. And you'll notice that when you look at those 12 channels, they're not all fishing channels. They're people from many different ways who have many different passions. But because we share the joys of certain passions, we've crossed paths and been supportive of one another. The last thing that I want to do for those channels, and this is where it's leading to the next point that I have, and that is I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And particularly my giveaway is going to be a $50 Bass Pro Shop gift card that I'm going to do. Those 12 channels that are featured will be automatically entered into the giveaway. So they don't need to do a blessed thing. All they need to do is know that they're in it, and they're going to automatically be put in there for the giveaway for a chance to win. For everyone else, this is where the next part becomes very important. This is the 4th part that I have here, and that is basically, I would like for those of you who are brand new, who have never been here, who have never, liked or comment or subscribed to my channel, please do so, because if you don't do so, you won't have a chance to be a part of this. For those of you who are already subscribers, you only need to do one thing for me. Actually, there's 2 things, but one thing in order to enter into this, and that is I need you to type at the bottom of this live stream, type in these words, in at 400, in at 400. So if you put that at the in your tag, in at 400, that will then mean that you're going to be entered into the $50 Bass Pro Shop giveaway. So you want to make sure you enter into that. But here's what I want to do, and the official rules are simple. 1, when I reach 400 subscribers, that's when this will be drawn and determined who gets it. I'm hoping, if everything goes well, on August 27th, 2020, my goal is at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock to do the drawing for this, and I'm hoping I will be at 400. There'll be no problem. In fact, I might even be greater than 400 at that point. That it'll be a real nice event to celebrate the 400 plus. But if not, it will go until I reach 400, and then once I reach the 400, then it will be the drawing for that. And of course, it'll be computer generated, so that basically it'll be whoever comes in and be part of that. So I just want to share that with you. So that's the first thing about that is you need to enter into the comment section here these words, in at 400, in at 400. And if I see that, I'll know that you want to be part of it. And as I shared with you, I hit 400 subscribers. That's when the drawing will happen. The third part is you must be a subscriber to my channel. That's a must. You must be part of that. And you also, as I shared, the feature channels, they're automatically entered into it, so they don't need to do anything. But that is part of the rules, is if you're in the feature channel, you get automatically in. And as I share with you, the winner will be drawn live stream. That's how we will know who's actually going to get that. And of course, you want to be there to receive that and have that $50, Bass Pro Shop. And if you're like me, you could use this for something that you're going to be using. I've already went fishing a couple days ago, and I was actually fishing for just panfish, and I lost 2 lures just in that time. So it wasn't typically I don't lose that many lures, but unfortunately this time I lost 2 lures. So you want to make sure that you get a part of that, because if you're like me, you're going to need to replace your lures that you lost, or other fishing gear, or if it's hiking, it might be something else that you enjoy. But if it's at Bass Pro Shops, you can get it. For the ladies or whatever, the guys, you may need clothing. So there's clothing there as well. So there's a lot of things that you can get at Bass Pro Shop. But at $50, I'm sure if you're like me, could go and be a real blessing to you. The final thing that I share with the rules is that for the most part, as long as it can be mailed without any major cost of over $10, I'm willing to do it and send it to someone. But if they live in a place where to try to get this card to you is going to cost a fortune, it's unfortunate that I won't be able to do it, because I'm not going to spend that much money to get it. So I'm looking at about a $10 shipping. If there's something within the $10 shipping, I'm willing to mail it out and send it out to somebody. But that's what you're going to want to do to enter in. Lastly, what I want to ask you, each of you, is share with me, if you don't mind, share with me why you like watching my channel. What is it about the channel that you really enjoy, or you like, or you find, that keeps you coming back, making you want to be part of it and see what's happening. The other thing is, I want to learn more about you. So when it comes to your channel, of course, I will see your channel, but tell me why you started your channel. And it doesn't have to be long or lengthy. I just would like to get to the point where, when I'm interacting with your channel, I kind of know where you're coming from. I know the basis. So like I said, maybe in about 2 or 3 sentences or whatever, share with me, one sentence, maybe, hey, this is what I like about your channel. And then maybe one sentence about, hey, this is why I did my channel. So that I kind of see the heart that you have for your channel, and at the same time see what it is about my channel that maybe you find appealing, that you just the interest is there. I know a lot of the channels that I subscribe to, one of the big things that I became passionate about that channel for was because it was fishing maybe in an area that I'm familiar with. So for instance, I live in Ohio. There's some Ohio channels that I follow very closely, because I know those Ohio channels are encountering the weather conditions. They're encountering things that are very similar. And so that becomes very helpful to me. So I just share that with you. No one has to do that. If you don't do it, you're not excluded from it. The only thing that's going to be that would exclude you from it is if you do not hit in the comment section, in at 400, in at 400. If you put that in there, you're in the $50 Bass Pro Shop giveaway. But if you don't do that, unfortunately, you're not going to be in it, even though you watch this video, even though you might have even made other comments. Please make sure you put that in at 400, and that will let me know. And like I shared with you, once I hit those 400 subscribers, I will do a live stream where I will basically from my iPad show the random calculation of boom how it counts and boom how it selects the person who's coming in. So um, with that, that leads me to my final point that I want to share, and it's actually going back to my first point, and that is simply to thank every one of you for being part of this, for being part of helping me to grow as a channel, giving me your support and your love. It's definitely appreciated, and I know and I hope that you feel that I've supported your channel as well. I try to make sure that if anyone likes my comments on my videos and that kind of stuff and subscribe, that I likewise like, comment, and subscribes to their channel and make sure that that interaction. And I try to learn. I don't just watch your video. I actually go into your information section to try to see if I can learn, what's your name? What's your reason for maybe why you started your channel? I kind of do some investigation, so to speak, to try to see if I can learn some more. And so when I'm commenting, I can say, hey, Timus, or whatever your name might be, in order to let people know that there's more there than just hey friend. But I do respond. If you notice, I'm constantly saying friend, giving you a thumbs up, and sometimes a fist, or that kind of stuff, or the fishing pull. Those are some of the typical ones that I use for a lot of the things that I see. But I really do. I thank you so much for being a part of this. At this point, this kind of will end the live stream unless there's some questions. I have some time or whatever. If you want to throw something out, I can try to give you an answer to it. But that just kind of shares with you a little bit about what I wanted to accomplish for tonight, was just those 5 things of making sure you were thanked for being part of this journey with me and being supportive, to encourage you, if you're not a supporter, to like, comment, and subscribe, and also to just share with you how I developed my channel's name and how I came up with my logo, and to help you to see what that was all about. And then to give a shout out to those particularly 12 feature channels who have been with me this whole time, giving me and helping to build my channel, and just being there for me. So I wanted to give them a shout out. And then the last part was the giveaway, and making sure that people understood that there's this opportunity for you to win $50 gift card to Bass Pro Shop. And I guarantee you know what you can do with it, and that kind of stuff. And, I actually have one of my own, but this is the one I wanted to give to one of my lucky subscribers who have been part of with me and been sharing in this, to make sure that they too have an opportunity. So is there any questions that are out there? How's it going, FCP? Good to see you. Yeah. So once again, just echo, if you want to be part of the giveaway, make sure that you put in there at the bottom, make sure you comment in at 400. And those are the key words. I'm going to be looking for that. And that's what's going to be drawn from the computer. Will be detecting if it identifies those words in at 400. And so you want to make sure that you have that written in your comment somewhere, so that the computer will generate and pick up every time it sees that word, to know that that person should be counted. So thank you, everybody, for being with me tonight, and pray that you guys be blessed and stay well in this quarantine state. But at the same time, the one thing that I've enjoyed is being able to go fishing, more times than I probably would naturally do, because my evenings and that kind of stuff, or my mornings, can sometimes be free with opportunities to fish. Yes. Was there a question? I'm sorry. Did I miss one? What was the question, DP3? Are you still in there, Deep Gunslinger? Okay. I didn't see the question. It must have went by too quick. Something about rods. Oh, um, believe it or not, I'm not one that goes into spending a lot of money on my fishing rods. I'm one of those people that gets typically a Shakespeare, and I get a Shakespeare generally depending on the kind of fish I'm going for. So I'll typically have a Shakespeare that's an ultralight. I'll have one that's lightweight or medium action. Then I'll have one that's heavy. And of course, I have my ugly stick for whenever I'm just going to go for a catfish or something big, and I just need to go with it. But generally, I'm just I get generally what's bought at Walmart. Occasionally, I'll get one at Bass Pro Shop or something like that. But I try not to spend more than I would say more than 60 or 70 bucks on any rod or reel. Um, that's just the way that I typically I'm built. My experience has been a rod or reel will last me maybe a year and a half at best. So I don't like spending those big bucks on a big rod or reel because I'll be honest with you, I break them down just like I would break down the ones that are cheaper. So for me, it's just easier to buy one where if I replace it annually, it might be just 50 bucks. And I don't feel much of a loss of the reel if it should fall apart. In fact, I bought my wife reels and actually used hers. So the last one I bought her one that was like this, you know, girly blue fishing rod. And believe it or not, I still went out and used her fishing rod, and I ended up breaking the tip of it off anyway. I don't think she knows that, but yeah, I broke her tip off of her reel. So that's why I don't spend a lot of money because I tend to be hard on them. I don't know. I don't realize I'm hard on them, but somehow, some way, I'll shut them in the door or whatever. And when they break off, I kind of lose the lure or lose the tip of it. So yeah, but that's what happens with my rod and reels. I typically buy the ones that are Shakespeare. I feel that it's a good heavy duty rod that lasts very well and is pretty rugged. So I'm pretty comfortable with the Shakespeare rods. Any other questions? That was a great question. If you saw my Florida videos, you will realize that I fell in love with the Rebel Popper when I was in Florida. If you watch my videos, believe it or not, of the 28 fish I caught, 25 of them I caught on that Rebel Popper, which is absolutely stunning that I caught 25 bass on that Rebel Popper. And well, I should say I caught 24 bass, and I caught that one big, huge mammoth bowfin, which is the first ever that I've caught that a fish like that. So, in fact, what's interesting is that bass and that bowfin I caught the very last day. I almost didn't even go out fishing. It was one of those kind of like, do you really want to get up and do you really want to go down there and go fishing and take care of that when you still have to pack everything up and you have to be in the car at 10 to 10:30 and heading out and heading for home, and you have a good trip home to get back to Ohio. So I really debated if I was even going to go fishing, and I went ahead and went fishing anyway. And I tell you what, I was so thankful. And that monster bass and that monster bowfin that I caught them in less than 20 feet apart from one another. In fact, if you look at the video carefully, you'll see where the bass came from in the part where the bowfin was just a little bit to the right. You will see the spot right there where the bass, because you'll see basically the cattails where I caught the bowfin, and just a little bit to the left, you'll see that red toy that was in the yard, and right there's where I caught the bass. I mean, I could not believe that I caught two monster fish, and I missed one in between those two. That I actually, when I tried to set the hook, it just boom, it missed, and I didn't even have my camera rolling. But it too was a monster, and I that one I'm pretty certain was another bass. So I think I would have had two monster bass that day, but unfortunately, I only caught the one, which was a record setter for me, a new personal best, and then I caught the bowfin. But yeah, those were unbelievable catches that day, and I almost missed it. I almost gave up on it. So, and then if you saw the third fish I caught in that day, on that day, was a fish that I call Mr. Slappy. I've never been slapped in the face so hard by a fish, but I caught this fish and I'm holding it and I'm trying to get a good picture and let you guys see what's going on with it. And that thing just gives me a whap right in the face. And of course, it hit the GoPro at the same time. But yeah, that was kind of funny. I'm like, wow. So before I released him, I called him Mr. Slappy. Might have been a Mrs. Slappy. I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look. But it was just funny that that fish could hit that hard and just kind of cock back with its tail and give me a good swat. But yeah, that was a pretty cool fish to catch. So that was my 3 fish for that day. And I tell you what, I've been blessed. That was a fantastic thing. But that was the Rebel Popper lure. It caught all those. And then I caught 3 other fish on a white tube bait. And it's actually the Bass Pro Shop little tube baits. And I used a white color with blue speckles. I forget the color of them, the color, what it's named. But those lures just killed the smallmouth bass in my local creek. And so that's what I often use. So I figure, I'll just try them up there. And turned out it worked really well as well. But any other questions? Yeah, those are good choices. Yeah, last year around here I fished with the Whopper Popper a lot for topwater, and I was stunned at how the hook efficiency I had with it. Um, every fish that hit it, with the exception of 1 out of every 5, I would lose, but 4 of them I would catch with no problem. And the ones that I typically miss, it was because basically when they hit it, they didn't hit it like they were going to take it, and maybe I just jerked too quickly or whatever and put it out of their mouth. But I was surprised by the hook efficiency because I've used a lot of other stuff like jitterbugs, and I like jitterbugs. And I've used other kind of buzz baits and stuff like that, and it seems like you miss a good fair share of them, and the percentage seems to be pretty. If you're about a 50 or 60% in those, you're typically very happy with it. But yeah, to catch basically, I know that last year I went on a period where I caught 10 bass in a row and didn't miss one of them with the Whopper Plopper. And I know some people love the Whopper Plopper. Other people are like, yeah, I could take it or leave it. But I just found the Whopper Plopper, particularly the river one, the small, I think it's 75. That one is just dynamite for catching smallmouth bass. They just tear it up and go after it. Even pike will go after it, but primarily I use it for the smallmouth bass, and they just love those Whopper Ploppers. Yeah, that's your favorite too. Yeah, What's your favorite color? I use perch. That's the one that I seem to get the best reaction on is the perch color. Oh, okay. Yep. Um, yeah, monkey butt. That is a good one. What I actually use when I'm trolling, believe it or not, I will use sometimes a weighted worm, and I just get your small um, tiki worm or any kind of worm that's about 4 inches, and I try to keep it only at 4 inches. I try to go with either a black and red, or I try to go with and I prefer if the red is on the bottom and the black is on the top. That's my preference. Sometimes I literally flip the bait around so that it's actually backwards from what other people would probably use it. The bottom part is the darker part. I actually put the darker part on the top, and sometimes I'll use the weight on it. Other times I'll just let it float and dangle, and then I mean, when I troll, I don't troll heavy. I typically troll light that way. If I'm on a boat where we're actually moving, I use Hottentots or I'll use some form of a crankbait to go and scoot along the bottom in order to get fish. But hot and tots are really great because they can catch bass, smallmouth bass. They can catch the walleye. You know, I've even caught a pike. In fact, I caught catfish on it, believe it or not, on the hot and tot. Jitterbugs are great to use. We use jitterbugs in Pennsylvania. They work awesome on the Allegheny River. I've caught monster pike. I've caught monster muskie and a whole bunch of smallmouth bass just on the yellow jitterbug scooting across that water. They tear it up. Yep. Hopefully I got all the questions. Are there any other questions? Thanks, buddy. Look forward to more of your videos. Yeah, no problem. Crankbaits, yeah, crankbaits are awesome to use. I have a lot of those in there, and I choose the depth based upon where the fish are. In fact, I was watching a YouTube on video by Jimmy Houston just recently, and Jimmy Houston said that the average bass, and I thought this was powerful, good information, something I hadn't known before, that in study, in his knowledge, and of course the man is an expert, he discovered that the average bass will spend the majority of its lifetime at 10 feet deep. That the majority of bass will spend the majority of their life at 10 feet deep. So in many cases, there's no way you're going to hit that 10 feet deep unless you have a crankbait that can get down to that depth of 10 feet. In fact, many crankbaits don't go that far. They go 6 feet or whatever. I mean, that's a lot of the ones that I have. They can go 6 feet or shallower. But he said that most bass do not spend a majority of their time in the shallow water. A majority of their bass will spend its time in the deeper waters all throughout the season. And so if you're fishing and you're fishing at that 10-foot depth, you're going to get scores of nice, good quality bass because that's where the majority of them will be hanging out throughout any given period of the year. I thought that was brilliant because most times when I fish, I don't seek for them at 10-foot deep. Most of the time, I'm seeking them at 6 feet or less, trying to catch those bass, and I'm successful. But boy, when he shared that with me, I think he opened up. Sometimes when I'm encountering the fish aren't biting well, they might be because they're at that 10-foot depth and they're just waiting for something to come their way. So I'm going to try that out this year and give it a test and see, is it true? Do I catch more big bass, quality bass at 10 feet because I'm willing to take one of my crankbaits and go that far down? But yeah, I thought that was good information. All right. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for the questions, for being with me here on my first live stream. It's been fantastic. I just want to echo once more again before I go, because I want to make sure everyone gets this opportunity at it to be entered into the giveaway. And it's a $50 Bass Pro Shop giveaway. You want to make sure that you put it at the bottom or put in your comments in at 400. Those keywords, in at 400. So to have a chance to enter in, make sure you put that in the comment section. And guys, I just thank you so much for your support. If you're a member of this channel, thank you so much for being a subscriber, being part of the family. If you're not, I would encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Have a blessed week. Keep safe. And just pray that you guys be blessed in every way. Take care. Signing out.